Hello, y'all. This is Divine Celiana. How you doing? I know. Usually, I do not sit up here like this. I know. Those of you that are new, welcome in. Those of you that are coming back, welcome. This is gonna be a talk moving forward. So, what is going on now? Let's start with that. What is going on now is we are in transition. We are in transition for a number of things. We are in transition because there were people doing things that they weren't supposed to be doing. Energies messed with that were not supposed to be messed with, that were pretty big, because some of these beings that were messed with are pretty big deals. No, I'm not talking about celebrities and stuff like that. In the spiritual realm, we could care less. Whether you have celebrity status or money, we can care less. That does not measure you to us. Transition. Some of you are feeling some big ones. Some of you are feeling consciousness shifts. Some of you are feeling magic attacks. And you know, because when you put your Florida water on, the attacks go away. Some of you are feeling lost and all you have faith to rely on. Some of you are just like, what the hell is going on? I don't. I get it. You're in transition. You are changing. No, you are not to know what you're changing to. For some of you, most of you are not to know what you're changing to. You're to have faith of where you're going. Others of you, you are to plan where you want to go. See, this is a time for you to tell the universe where you want to go. And it knows where you're going to walk. Your request needs to be in alignment with that. Okay? Of where you're walking. Some of you are going to find out what your path is. For a lot of us, fall to December. So I should say from now to December is going to be a huge change season. Huge change. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude. Not only to those of you who are watching and things like that and tune in, but I want to express my gratitude with the universal collective and community of what we have. Not what we still want, what we have. Currently, what is coming to us that is old. What we have been through to get us to this stage right now and our strength. And I'm grateful to the haters that got us to this strength level or helped get us to the strength level now. So we are in a big change. I want to talk to you about what I'm seeing in this world right now. What I'm seeing globally is a system that is trying to change to totalitarian control, right? But trying to be slick on how to do that. So, of course, you have your plants and you have your people saying what's not true, and you have your lies. You have the lay folks feeling that they can judge folks, and they can't because they're none the wiser. You have the dummying down of society. You have other countries ahead of us educationally because we are purposefully dummying down, and United States being used as a scapegoat, that if it can happen in the United States, it can happen everywhere else. So let us do it first. But these other countries are not slowing down and educating their people. We have. So much so that I have to get books in other languages because they're more advanced in their math and language to use for my children. And as a seasoned educator who knows education backwards and forwards, I see what's happening. I know what they're doing. From school to job pipeline, right? They are wanting only a certain type of people. Black kids are not given IQ tests. They're not allowed because they were deeming too many black kids back in the day, I think 60s to 80s. Too many black kids was being labeled as intellectually disabled. When black kids are the smartest until the age of 4, when socioeconomics sets in, go look it up. There's studies, which prove that socioeconomics gets in the way of learning. But how are these black kids supposed to measure up on the world stage if we don't give them IQ tests? But yet they're using IQ tests and calling them achievement tests to get jobs. And the jobs are saying it's a measure of how you're doing the damn job. No, it's not. It's a measure of how you reason. Talk to those who don't know. We know. Because when you're in special ed, you know what IQ tests, you know what it does. And you know the probability of your children being able to learn, your students being able to learn and how to grasp it. That's what we were using it for, or supposed to use it for. But that's not how they were using it back in the day, before IDEA law became what it is, which I know very well. And so when they give these tests, black kids are not going to be able to compete. That moves them out the way. Now you got brown kids, right? And brown kids, they didn't expect to achieve what they have achieved. They expected them to take the black kids' place and work these menial jobs. And lo and behold, the brown kids are learning. Yay. Right? I say yay. So, but now, who's going to do the menial work? So now you have people being kept out of jobs of all shapes and sizes and colors, creeds, to do the menial jobs that no one wants to do. Right? You got fake jobs out there. Everyone, you know what's going on. You have textiles that have not raised in price that much, but domestically the prices are exponentially raised 100+% to make a profit. But that's not the price they're close to even paying when they receive the wholesale item. I know, because I'm a wholesaler. And I'm like, so you're squeezing a society to see what they can take. You're testing them to see how far they'll go to be told what to do before they say, fuck you, no. And you're testing to see how far you can get away with in our education system. And right now what everyone is seeing is the violence of children. That's because children do not know how to handle trauma and violence. And if they're not given help at school, which we're supposed to be doing child find to identify these children, if we're not doing that in school, what the fuck do you think happens? What happens to somebody who's scared and they feel they have nowhere to go and no backing out? They come out of the corner like a fucking lion charging. Duh. And that's what our kids are doing, are they not? You have kids attacking teachers. Some deserve it, some don't. Not condoning or for agreeing. Not doing either. And there's a reason. Because we have some teachers that are fucking shitty and need to go, and they won't go because their union is protecting them. I said, okay, well then change the job descriptions. And if you don't do what's in your fucking job description, you got to go and make them at-will employees. Bye. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have no love for the teacher union. None. They never fought for my jobs. So no love lost there. And I was never in the wrong. In fact, I had to tell admin what to do because they would be out of compliance. Yeah, I'm that one. So anyway, and I'm looking overall at what's happening. And I'm like, they really think people are stupid to not see what's coming. But more than that, what's disheartening is the deeper meaning of that. Not that they don't think people are stupid, or not that they think people are stupid. More so that we have to suppress the spiritual ones and the ones who can see and who know, because they're going to ruin our plan. No, you can't. You're not on our level to do that. So then they get mad. And you have the conflicts, you have the contradictions. So you have some of the hierophants and the priests and the pastors going to magic folks doing magic. If God is your God, and you say you follow that book, and you say you follow the laws, and in that book it says you don't do magic, which is talking about Jewish magic, but we don't leave that alone. That's a whole nother discussion. Then why, as a pastor, preacher, whatever, hierophant, whatever, are you going to magic folks? I'm noticing people saying they have a doctrine, they're not following it, for example. My father clearly states you have to give up your possessions if you're going to pick up your cross and follow him. Clearly states it, right? But I'm seeing holy folk, proclaimed pastors, gurus, all these motherfuckers, right? Walking around with money. Time is different from Jesus' time, yes. And do you need funds? Yes, you needed funds in his time. But he clearly told you, you couldn't have material if you're going to walk with me. Yet, the attacks have been on the material and the love, right? The material don't mean shit. And I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to have that argument. Well, we need this to live. I'm not going to have that argument. The material don't mean shit, because the material is not what's going to save you. The material is not going to tell Anubis or death. They're not going to change their mind when they fucking take you and weigh your heart to a feather. It's not going to do anything, because money doesn't exist to them, because it doesn't mean shit to us in the spirit realm. So then when they come around and they don't understand why they can't buy us off, it doesn't mean shit to the spirit realm. And we belong to the spirit realm. Those of us who know our path and where we're going and what we're doing. Even those of us that don't, we belong to the spirit realm. We don't belong to material realm. If you are not of Satan, then why are you chasing a dollar? Other than what you need to live, why are you not giving it away? See, it's so funny. You have countries crying out, right? And you have billionaires sitting on money. You have millionaires, sitting on money. As much money is circulated in this world, no one should be poor. But no one wants to part and give. No one wants to give love, right? So how are you supposed to be saved if you're not giving love? How do you even fathom or think you're saved at all if you're not giving and spreading love willingly because you want to? Doing what my father told you to do. See, I'm going to explain something about me. I don't care about sin. Here's why I don't care about sin. Let me tell you something about me. I don't care about sin. I don't care about what people think will get me into heaven. I don't care one iota what people say about this. Here's why. Because you're following a book that's not complete and you don't know. The information has been skewed all over the place. The only way you can know is in here. And I've done that work to know what's a sin for me and what is not. Remember I said your relationship with God is highly personal. Only God can tell you. No one else can tell you. Not a pastor, preacher, whatever. We can't, as readers and seers, we can tell you the path that we see and the energy we see on the path if you continue to walk. What can happen? But we are not the end all be all. We are sent to guide, to give you probability, to tell you the most likelies. We use divination tools to be able to do that, especially if you're walking the wrong path. That's what we use it for, those that mean to use it for good. Okay? So I'm sitting up here and I'm thinking to myself, all these people that have these double standards, all these people that are thinking that they're going to heaven and they're not. You can't care about going to heaven. That is not the point. The point is the love we give and we share with ourselves and each other to understand Spirit and Source and Jesus and the rest of them. It's the Word, the real Word of Christ, of El, if that's what you follow. The real Word. They attack throat chakra because they don't want to say it. You can't stop it. But I understand humans haven't caught up to that yet, to understand that. And that's the other thing. We spiritual beings are waiting for you humans to stop being so ignorant and to see, so you can fight for yourself. Ain't nobody dying for you this time. If you recall Revelations and all these others, and after Jesus walked, and there's a second, right? It doesn't say he dying for you. Where do your sins go? With you. They stay with you. It was decided you get no one else to die for you. It was done. Now it's on you. And that's what a lot of humans don't understand. Your punishment is on you. There's no one to take it this time. So you carry the grunt of it 100%. And that's what's going on now. You're carrying your sins, your karma, your responsibility. You're carrying it. You're going to pay for it. Not a Jesus, not an enforcer, not the comforter, not who he sends, not Sophia, none of them. Sophia has refused, as she should, because you're doing the sinning. You're doing the damage or the good or whatever. So you pay for it. No spiritual being is to pay for it but you. That's why it's judgment time, because you carry it. Now you may be asking, why are you smiling? Because you need to carry it. Because some of you feel you're too good to carry it. Let somebody else, and that's why you're doing the magic so someone else can. Let somebody else carry it. I'm too good. I'm too important. Sit the fucking down. You ain't that important. Were you called? Did you say no? Then you got lessons to learn, right? Because no one's above anyone else. No. But sit your ass down. I'm so excited that humans get to carry their own plight this time. And they get to learn to be responsible for what they do. There ain't no one else. You can call it acts lighten your load, but you carrying it. And that's why a lot of you are tired now. Because you're carrying it yourself. As you should. See, we forget there was a debt not paid on this plane. Let's get into this, shall we? Okay. So many of you love going after Satan. But not many of you looked at Satan's point of view. Not many of you really listened to what Satan felt, because of course it's really not in the Bible, right? But Satan, as Satan has a job that none of you are aware of or value or look at. Who the fuck do you think tells Jesus who goes and who don't? Who do you think tells Jesus the account of what's been happening on this plane because it's their plane? Now, Jesus already knows which ones of you, right? But Satan gives the account. You know the accounting ledger, right? Because there's an Akashic record, but there's an accounting ledger. For you, he gives that. Based on what you did in your life. It don't give a damn. Honestly. About what you're doing. Either you make a deal or you don't. It don't give a damn. It's going to get souls regardless. It really wants to be left the fuck alone. But no one can do that. Because humans think they know every fucking thing. They don't know how to stay in their fucking lane. Humans are always trying to go into a spiritual lane. And yes, you're spiritual, but you're not there. Stay in your fucking human lane and learn your lessons. And then when it's time for you to transition over, then. So, Satan, right? Everyone here has a job to do. Everyone here. That can be your lesson specifically for the next step up in evolution for you when you pass on. That can be what you need to deliver to the masses. Between you and spirit. Your job. Right? Now, we're blaming Satan, demons, jinn, and shit like that for what they're programmed to do, which is fuck with you. Who else is going to give you your lessons? God has a lot of things to do. It was ordained they were going to be demons and Satans and shit. Those that are fallen, it was ordained they were going to fall. Those that have been fucking with you on this plane, where do you think your lessons come from for you to learn and be better? To not sin. Who's going to teach you about sin? Not someone good. They don't fucking sin, right? No. Darkness is going to teach you sin. Because they know sin. Who in the light can teach you sin if they don't sin? That's like, and forgive this example, but that's like, and I've used this before, a cocaine user, a meth addict, a heroin addict, right? Who has been through it, knows knockdown what it does to you, what it does to your life, what it does to your family, that's been through it. They can teach you not to do it better than a psychologist, a counselor, someone who thinks and has seen it in patients, but they've never been through it. So how the fuck do you know? You don't. You know what you've seen by your perception. You've never been through it emotionally. You don't know how it breaks you down. You don't know. You know from your perception as a counselor on the outside. You don't know as a user. So why would you have someone not qualified teach? We don't allow that in the education system, right? If we don't allow that in the education system, why the fuck is it allowed in the spiritual system? Shouldn't be, right? No, it shouldn't. So we spend all our time on the Lord of Lies and sin. And we spend all our time yelling at this being, talking down to this being, making fun of this being. This being is tired of this shit because half the shit is being called on. It does do, but not consistently, right? Forgetting we can't judge, especially a God. And Satan is a God. It was an angel, but it's a God of hell. So we are in essence shitting on a God who is doing its job. We are shitting on its minions who are doing its job. Again, why? When you get to make the choice whether or not to follow, whether or not to make a deal with them. They tricked me, bitch. That was your choice. Now there's this thing about there's no such thing as free will. Wrong. This is why they want you to believe that. Because if you believe there's no such thing as free will, you will give in to the commands they want you to do. Well, I'm here to tell you, as Divine Celion herself, I know there's free will. Because we're held accountable to what we do. We get to make the choice. If there was no free will, there'd be no good and bad for us to have to make a choice. I don't give my will over. Will is free. It's not commanded by man. It's not even commanded by God. Because we have a choice. And no, we don't give that choice up. So stop spreading that fucking lie that there's no free will. Yes, there is. It's just very, very limited. That's all. We have it. It's just limited. And controlled. And planned out. And you may say, well, Divine, shit, that means it ain't free. No, you still have a choice. I said, there's always a choice. The choice may be fucked up. It may be blind. You may not see it, but there's always a choice. Always a choice. That is still free will. Even the little choices. So, I want to talk about this. Okay, that's what's going on now. There was a video I absolutely fell in love with, and I haven't done that in a long time. I sing all the time. They cannot take my gift from me. They can't have it. They can't even copy it because it's a spiritual gift. So, I love singing. One of the things I was made to do. And no, not like everybody else. I sing very differently. My voice is very, very different and unique, which I'm so glad. So, this is a video by Chris Stapleton. I'm going to put the link in the description. And it's called Think I'm in Love with You. This video made me think. And I love Chris Stapleton. I know you probably don't follow my videos or nothing. But I want to tell you bravo for this video. I want to give you props for this video. Here's why. From one artist, independent artist to another. I don't know if he's independent or not, but from one artist to another. Here's why. This video first does a beautiful job on when love calls us home. We grieve because we are missing someone we grasp. Right? We don't think about, I did, but we don't think about how happy they are to go home because they get to be with the love they've been missing. And that's what it was about. It was about someone in the bed, dying, family crying, everything. Shows them at the funeral. You see this man dancing behind his hearse. You see him dancing at the funeral and dancing all the way up to that one that he's been waiting to see. Oh, man. I said, this is love right here. This is love right here. I said, beautifully displayed in so many ways. This is what this tells me. First of all, it is a celebration when we go home. Here's why. This is a living fucking hell simulation. Okay? Who wouldn't be happy to leave? I was looking today at the Cypherites, I think it was called, Cypher from the Matrix. And there was followers of Cypher. And I understand why. Okay, I always try to look at all sides of something. I understand why. And it's because of this. The celebration of going home. We get to leave here. We don't get to suffer no more. We're going to miss them. And we love them. But we get to be with who we love and we want to see. And usually that's a mate or a family member, right? 1, 2. When you go home, your lessons are done here. You're not dealing with Satan. You're not dealing with demons. You're not dealing with angels. You're not dealing with none of that shit. Your lessons are done. It's like, okay, get your final pay stub. Give me your final hour so I can give you your final pay. And we're going to discuss before you leave what you did. It's nothing to be afraid of if you're checking how you're living. If you're living in love. God doesn't expect us to be perfect. He knows we're living as humans. It's not perfection God is looking for. It's authenticity. Because it knew us before we were born. It knew who we really were before we were born. It knew how our attitude was going to be, right? So, do you know you? And I'm going to laugh. If any of you ever, and heaven forbid, but if any of you ever have a near-death experience where you die and you come back, and you say, you know, I was asked, who are you really? Do you know? I'm a flip. I haven't seen that yet in one of these type of videos, but I'm a flip. Because that's what God wants to know. How authentic are you? And do you know who you are? Now, I don't give in to the you didn't follow me. You didn't follow me. I don't give in to that. That's not me. God knows that's not me. I'm not going to be that way. But knowing how much you're loved and knowing that spirit hurts that you don't realize how much you're loved by it. Hurts it a lot. So there's that. Right? We cry for what will no longer be there, for what we're grasping on. Okay? Because we get attached to things as humans, emotionally, right? Of course we're going to miss somebody when they go. Right. But think about it from the perspective of the one passing on. First of all, it is too much for them really to fathom, but it's too much for them to accept. And I get that, right? But we need to think about the happiness it brings them and the peace it brings them, even though we'll miss them. Of course, we're thinking about the memories and what they shared with us and stuff. But if we paid attention the whole damn time they were alive and we didn't take it for granted and called every once in a while and stuff, I know there's a lot to this fucking life that you have to remember. Remember this. Everything is possible and everything is allowable. That means multiple timelines, jumping ones, time changing, backwards and forwards. What else? That is layered realities stacked in one place. Everything happening at once, all at once. All of that. And so some people are like, how in the fuck is a human supposed to keep up with that? I know. That is why I say, don't worry about being perfect. Worry about being love. If you know what that means and you know what that is, then you're on the right track. Worry about being love and sharing love with everyone. You worry about that. Okay? I don't worry about being saved. Why? And this is going to sound crazy as hell when I'm about to tell you. Because that is not my priority. You be like, hold on. You follow your father and being saved is not a priority? No. One, only my father can tell me I am or not. I don't need to know. What I need to know is what I need to walk. I know what my job is. That's what I need to worry about. I don't need to worry about if I'm saved. I need to worry about, am I doing my job I was sent here to do? And no one gets in the way of my fucking job. Nobody. I don't care what you take. You still can't get in the way of it. Because it's not going to come out how you think. And it's not the way you think. I'm sorry, I don't. If I spent, and I used to when I was younger, if I spent my life worrying about if I was saved and I'm going to heaven and am I doing this right, I wouldn't live. I would have anxiety and depression. I would have this whole hell and brimstone thing over my... I'm not fucking doing that. That robs me of my life. And I'm going to tell you, I'm authentic to me. I'm going to experience life. I'm going to do life. And I will take the consequences for what the fuck it is that I do wrong. But I'm going to live. That's what I'm here to do. Live and my job. And no one can tell me otherwise. I don't accept that from anyone. Because you don't know what my fucking job is. I do. You don't tell me otherwise. And I put my glasses on, pushed them back, so you can see my eyes and you can see how fucking serious I am. I don't worry about that. One, that's how churches get you. To give you a fear agenda. And my father told you before the book of Revelations, fear is nothing of God. So if a church has to use fear, it is nothing of God. You heard what I said. I said what I said. Refute that line in the Bible. Fear is nothing of God. It's in there at least 3 times. So if that's what a church uses, you won't see me. Because I know what you're about. That's not love. I have yet to step foot in a church that specifically talks about my Father's love and what we're supposed to be doing in love for other people. And then after the service, going out and actually fucking doing it. I have yet to see it. And there's many churches. And I'm sure there's some that do that. But I have yet to see it. I have yet to see where the doctrine in the church is love. Above everything else. Because in my church it would be. If I had one. But I wouldn't have a church. I'd have just a community. Love is all. And that's the only doctrine you need. Because if y'all say love is all, right? And y'all say love is God. And then y'all say God is love. Then you should know. Shouldn't you? You shouldn't have to use fear. Then something's wrong because you are. So, love called us back home. Why wouldn't we be excited? Why wouldn't we be excited to see who we love again? Why wouldn't we be excited not to suffer anymore? Yes, we love you. Of course we don't want to leave you alone. Of course we don't. But we got to go home too. When our job is done, our job is done. We got to go home. Now, some people leave this plane and their job is not done because people thought that they could take them out. Then they got to come back. No, I'm busy. So, no. Know thyself. Love thyself. Be true to thyself. Loving yourself gives you understanding of God. To understand why it moves the way it moves. I sought love of myself so I wouldn't spiral. So I wouldn't repeat the cycle, because I don't need to find my peace. And I found love in myself, and I'm going to be honest with you, to see my enemies. Because love does that. Just as my father navigated around them, so do I. Go on downstairs and stop hanging out at my door. Yeah, excuse me. My little bugaboos. They don't want nothing. My loves. I know our loved ones appreciate when we cry for them and they're passing on when we don't want them to leave, but understand something. They have a whole different feeling. Everyone damn near that has passed over or seen the light has talked about an immense peace that goes with it, and they didn't want to come back. And sometimes it's our families pulling us back because they don't want to let us go. Let them go. Well, divine, would you? Yeah, we got to let people go all the time. Loss is a part of life. As birth is, so is death. As giving is, so is loss. It's a part of life. Okay? So I've been sitting up paying attention. But that video did it for me. But I've been sitting up paying attention to everything. And I thought to myself, when should we end it? They want total dominating control. And I won't give that vote. And I won't let them have it. They haven't convinced us spiritual beings why they should. No. And it doesn't belong to them anyway. No matter what they think they do. It don't belong to the aliens either. The ones here before we were. It don't belong to you either. You didn't make it. And the funny thing is, they think by killing off chosens just because we're not on this plane, that once we're gone, there's nothing else we can do here. Some. Not all of us. Beings like me can. Beings like me are very honoring. Like the people that attack us. They don't quit. We don't quit. So it keeps being a tat for tat, right? And what happens when you do a tat for tat? You escalate until someone dies. But it won't be me. Because my job's not done. It won't be spiritual beings like me. Because our job's not done. So that should tell you who's going to die. And even if we are taken out, some of us still have power here to do what we need to do. So again, my question has been, looking at the progression, when do we decide to end it? Now, this may confuse some of you. If you understand everything is possible everywhere, everything all at once, all that kind of stuff, you'll understand what I'm saying and why I can say it. And that's been the hard question. How long do we keep them suffering? How long do we wait to see if humans are going to stand up and do something where we don't have to? Or can we in love, make the decision to end it? To end the simulation. So no one has control. But who's supposed to? And thank God that decision is not left to them. It's left to some of the ones they're attacking. Some are trying to make us make that decision. Some are trying to keep us from that decision so they can keep on and trying to control. No, baby. We will make that decision long before you can control anything. And just when you think you have it in your grasp, it's gonna slip from your fucking fingers. 'Cause you can't have it. We said no. You can't have it. And there ain't shit you can do. But I wouldn't have made that deal anyway. So it's a good thing that some of us indigo children didn't take your deals, huh? Because a lot of us, even though a lot did, a lot of us wouldn't have. We know what's at stake. We know what's important. So, my loves, I'm going to wrap this up. There's a lot happening at this time. Your job is you and spreading love the whole world over. That's it. Imagine if everyone just randomly gave love to someone else and themselves every day. Like if you had a rule that I'm going to give love to 3 people every day. 3 random folks. And it could be as small as giving a child 25 cents. Right? Or buying someone an ice cream or what the fuck ever it is. Helping someone across the street. That's all love. But imagine if everyone chose 3 acts of love every day to everyone else and 1 act of love to yourself every day. Imagine the change in this world. What it would look like. And then those that's trying to make the decision to control and when they can wouldn't be able to. Because the smart ones know by doing that, they will miss out on a lot and will ruin a lot. And they won't gain. Not the way they think they will. They won't gain. But then again, a lot of us spiritual beings do not want to see humanity go that way. But the way that humanity is acting, they need to. Not the control part. The accountability and punishment part. Oh yeah. There is judgment that needs to be called on a lot. And I think what we're going to start doing is switching our lens to the number of judgments that need to be called to know when to end it. I believe that's what we're going to switch to. Letting the judgment, the number of judgments decide. Because if we go on what people are doing every day, we'll never make that decision. But going on the judgments and the karma, oh yeah, we can. And that's highly measurable. At least in the spirit realm it is. Because everyone has a ledger. Every spiritual being, karmic, even human, whatever. Everyone has a ledger in what you've done. You're on Akashic record. Everyone has one. And then you have the big book of everybody's. And every event and everything. Yeah. Them don't know what they don't know. But they think they do. No, you don't. You have no clue. And a lot of you humans have no clue. A lot of you aliens have no clue. None. What the fuck you're going up against. But we do. That's how we know what side to stand on. And we don't lose. No matter how it looks. No matter how many times we have to come back and do it. And get shit on and beat up. That's why I look so beat up. Because every time I come back, I get beat up. Every time. But I don't stop. Because I won't let them have it. Not for nothing. I know my job. They always tell you, be careful who you fuck with. You don't know what they decide. All right, my loves. I'm going to leave this with you. Please go see that video. I loved it. I loved it. If there was any video that was like my person, that was it. That was it for my loves. It is okay. You are in transition right now. It is okay. It is okay. You don't know where you're going. Have faith and just keep walking. Because eventually, as you keep walking, guess what you're going to do? You're going to be talking to you in spirit. And you're going to start to feel. And you're going to start to know. And you're going to be like, where's this knowing coming from? That's what happens between you and spirit when y'all share love like that. That's how I know it's not a matter of obeying. It's not a matter of obeying. It's not. It's a matter of loving, not obeying. I tell you all the time, love gives you a different understanding that you don't understand. But if you knew love, you would. All right, my loves, I love you. Thank you for letting me talk to you today. I am grateful for you. These are not empty words I'm saying to you. I am grateful for you. Very much so. And I love you very much. That is also just as serious when I say that. We all need each other. We're all going to need one another at some point on this plane. And that time is coming. It is approaching very soon. I just hope we all make the right choice together. All right, my loves, I love you. Blessings to you. Grateful for you. Grateful for you being here. Be grateful for what you're experiencing and what you have. I know it's hard. But my loves, I guarantee you, you walk this path in love. You have that faith. You are going to be triumphant and stronger than you thought you ever could be. Watch. When I've been wrong. Watch. And you'll be like, damn, I didn't know I could do that. I told you. I always tell you. I told you. I know. Because you're that magnificent. I know. You just need to know you are. I already know. All right, my loves. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday night. Love you.